Hello again, welcome back to Kuala Lumpur and to the second practice session ahead of the 2015 Malaysia Grand Prix. And as you can tell from those opening sequence, a very different session for Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton, where, Johnny, we saw Rosberg head the timesheets, but Lewis Hamilton with all sorts of problems with an engine issue, and they're really taking quite a lot of time to get it fixed. Well, the latest is that they understand what's wrong, and they are in the process of fixing it. But he certainly won't be out for the start of FP2, will he? But
no. The good thing was I saw some hydraulics being bled as well. So of course it's now all together. It's just that sort of final stuff they need to go. The complexion of these cars nowadays, it just takes so long to get it ready. So I think by the end of the session at some point, I reckon he might get out on track. Yeah.
Okay. We believe that it's the same engine that they have actually just fixed. It was a problem in the engine air inlet system that they've managed to fix, and that will be good news, won't it? Because when we saw the car grind to a halt on track, we were worried that actually that was going to be one gone for the season, and they were worried as well. They told Lewis he felt something go click.
Click, wasn't it? Yeah, then they said about they didn't have any telemetry, and that's why they sort of made him stop on track. So safety is always paramount with those issues with the engine. So hopefully that looks as if they fixed it with a bit of luck.
Well, exactly. There he is going back into the paddock. But they do tend to put these sort of yellow and black striped barriers out the front when there's an issue with the energy recovery system. I don't think there is in this case. I just think they've run out of barriers. But anyway, we're being quite lucky in that we've managed to have a look at some of the cooling systems within the Mercedes garage. So, I mean, from your experience here, how hot do these garages actually get?
Sort of initially they'd always get round to the sort of 40-degree mark sometimes. Yeah, the ambient out here is about 32, but with everything that goes on there with the engine and everything, it does really warm up. You've got all the bodies in there at the same time, but the big thing is trying to cool that all down.
Okay, we can't move away from the engine. I know it's loud, sorry about that, because I want to show you the actual air conditioning system. So Lee, if you just come in here and have a look, what they're trying to do is to pipe cool air into the garage and then out of this big tube. It's almost like a sort of mini bouncy castle in a funny way, isn't it? But this is fed by a massive air conditioning unit at the back of the garage that's sort of pumping out a load of cold air. So the idea is that they can lower the temperature in here to normal sort of room temperature. What would be 35, 36 degrees is coming well down, and that's great because it's the human performance of the mechanics as well.
Exactly, and that's really what it's all about. These guys here are really sort of working in these sort of high temperatures. You cool them down, they're going to be much more alert. The same with the guys working on the car at the same time. So it's an obvious thing that you would do, but it's just getting the right situation to cool it down enough.
Okay, well it's a supplier, a sponsor of Mercedes. This company, EBM Pabst, their name is apparently, and apparently they're the biggest manufacturer or something, Johnny, of fans or air conditioning units. Apparently, anyway. And this one, this fella is interesting. I've got some data on this one. This gives the engine airbox and everything sort of south of the engine air intake here over 500% more air than the previous airbox fan they used, that they made themselves, the Mercedes team, last year.
More performance, Ted.
500% more air is being pumped through that little thing in there. So, yeah.
Impressive stuff,
isn't it? I don't know whether the mechanics are still going to be allowed to wear their shorts tomorrow, by the way. Had to go to long trousers in...
yeah, they did. Black ones as
in
well.
Australia.
Lovely.
Yeah. Okay, but what about other people? That's Mercedes and their cool car and garage done and dusted. But who do you think? Ferrari looked pretty good. Red Bull in trouble once again in first practice.
Well, I think Red Bull is the obvious one, you know, with all the sort of spats that have been going on since Australia. It's carrying on here, and it seemed to have calmed down a little bit yesterday, but of course the car performance is something that's not happening for them. Ferrari, yes, they look very, very good, and they seem to be on a nice roll at the moment, and they seem to have two happy drivers in the car, which is a very positive thing all round for Ferrari. Big challenge for Williams, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is a bit. Okay, well, here we go. Another 90 minutes of track running still to come. And this is such a crucial point in the season and in the weekend where we get to have a good idea about who is going to do well in this Malaysian Grand Prix weekend. So we're going to get our answer in the second practice session coming up. Welcome back to Sepang, just outside Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Practice 2 coming up. The F1 show later today at 10 a.m. Then qualifying on Saturday begins at 8 a.m. So that's quite civilised on Saturday morning, isn't it? And then our coverage for the 2015 Malaysia Grand Prix starts with the track parade at 6:30 in the morning. Pit Lane Live is off at 7 a.m. The race show, this is the one you really need to get up for, 7:30. And then Paddock Live with all the analysis and reaction from the Malaysia Grand Prix is on from 10:30 on Sunday morning. Okay, Ricardo's ready. I'm off to sweat it out in pit lane. Johnny's off to sweat it out trackside, but keeping nice and cool in their air-conditioned commentary box, we can find Bruno Senna and David Croft.